Good morning, children. I welcome you all to a new class in physics today, children. In today's class, children, we are going to study about what do you mean by least count. Okay, as you can see, I've written on the board. Here's the definition for least count. Least count is the smallest measurement that can be taken accurately. If you remember, children, I have already told you that in physics, you have to make many measurements, right? And in order to make a measurement, you need a physical quantity and a numerical value. Okay. Now, when you have to make a measurement, every time you need an instrument to measure. Okay. So, every instrument has a least count. Now, what do you mean by least count? I told you it is the smallest measurement that can be made accurately with the help of that particular instrument. Okay. And today we are going to study two new instruments. One, vernier calipers, and the other, screw gauge. I will first teach you what is a vernier calipers, how does it look like, what are the different parts of a vernier calipers. All this I am going to explain to you in today's class. Okay, children? So, here you can have a look. I will show it to you. This is what a vernier calipers looks like. Okay, it is an instrument which is used to measure the length. Okay, the length. Actually, we use scale, we use measuring tape. These are also instruments which measure length. But sometimes when you want that the length should be measured accurately, precisely up to a you want to measure a very short length. For that you use this instrument. This is vernier calipers. It is for better accuracy and for smaller measurements which cannot be made with the help of a meter scale. Okay. Now this is what a vernier calipers looks like. I am going to discuss the different parts with you. In order to do so, I have taken a bigger model. You can see this is a bigger model. This is a wooden model of a vernier calipers. Okay. Now I will explain to you what are the different parts of a vernier calipers. You can see it is a wooden model. Now this particular vernier calipers looks like this. I will take the actual instrument. Okay. Now here this is the vernier calipers instrument. You can see that it has two jaws. These are known as the lower jaws or the outer jaws, and these are known as the upper jaws or the inner jaws. I repeat, the lower jaws or the outer jaws, and these are the upper jaws or the inner jaws. Okay, out of a pair you can see these are the lower jaws. One upper jaw and one lower jaw are fixed, while one upper jaw and one lower jaw are movable. They can move. Can you see? I am sliding it. These are movable jaws and these are fixed jaws. Okay. Now in a vernier calipers you have two scales, children. One is known as the main scale. This is the main scale, which is just like our normal scale which we use. And the other one is a tiny scale over here which is known as the vernier scale. Okay, so there are two scales, the main scale and the vernier scale. The main scale is just like our normal scale, that is marked from 0 to 15 centimeters, which you are using to draw diagrams, etc. Okay, that is your main scale. And this is the vernier scale over here, which has only 10 divisions. It's a very short scale which has only 10 divisions. So you should remember that a vernier calipers has two scales. One is the main scale and the other is the vernier scale. Now, what is the function of every part? Let us see that. First of all, we come to the outer jaws. Now, this outer jaw is used to measure the length. You can see this is an object which I have taken, and I will fix this object between these two lower jaws like this. I have fixed it, and you can measure the length, the breadth and the height of a particular object. You can measure the length, you can measure its width, you can measure its height. With the help of the lower jaws, you can take these measurements. What about the upper jaws? Children, the upper jaws are used to measure the internal diameter. You can see this is a hollow container, and I fix this container onto the lower jaws like this, and with the help of the upper jaws, I can measure the internal diameter of this particular box. So what are the lower jaws effective? What do they measure? They measure the length, breadth and height of a given object. What do the upper jaws measure? They measure the internal diameter of a given object. Okay, and you can see when I move these jaws, there is a strip which is coming out. You can see this strip, it is actually fixed behind the vernier calipers. This strip, you know, it moves in and out and it can measure the depth. I'll show you how. See, it can measure the depth of the given hollow object. So therefore, a vernier calipers can be used. The lower jaws or the outer jaws are used to measure the length, breadth and height of a particular given object. The upper or the inner jaws are used to find out the internal diameter of the given object, and this particular strip, metallic strip, is used to measure the depth of the given hollow object. Then you have I told you there are two scales over here. One is the main scale and one is the vernier scale. The main scale is just like a normal scale, while the vernier scale has only 10 divisions. Okay, I hope it's clear. This is the vernier calipers, and how to use it, I'll show it to you. But first of all, I want to teach you one thing, that is vernier constant. Now, what is the meaning of vernier constant? Vernier constant also means least count of the vernier calipers. What is least count? I have already told you. It is the smallest measurement which can be accurately made with the help of this vernier calipers. Now let's see how can we find out the least count of the vernier calipers. Okay. Now there is a formula to find out the least count of vernier calipers, and that formula is one main scale division. This is the formula actually. MSD means main scale division. One main scale division minus one vernier scale division will. With the help of this formula, we can find out the vernier constant of least count. But then we have to look at one very important thing, that is 10 divisions of the vernier scale. You know, the smaller scale, the vernier scale, 10 divisions. You can see here in this, I have taken this, there are 10 divisions in the vernier scale. When I close the jaws completely, the 10 divisions of the vernier coincides with 9 divisions of the main, which means that you know exactly they are not of the same length. I repeat, 10 divisions of the vernier scale. Okay, 10 divisions of the vernier scale coincide with 9 divisions of the main scale. So I have written that is 10 divisions of vernier coincides is equal to 9 divisions of main scale. So therefore, what do you mean by what is one division equal to then? So one division of vernier will be equal to 9 upon 10 divisions of main. And when I just keep it, this is the relation between vernier scale and main scale. And when I put the formula of vernier constant, which is also least count, that is one main scale division minus one vernier scale division. What is one main scale division equal to? One main scale division is equal to 1 millimeter. 1 millimeter is one main scale division. Okay, that is one division of the main scale is equal to 1 mm. And one vernier scale division I have calculated 9 upon 10. That I substitute. And when I calculate, what is my answer? When I take the LCM, I get it as 1 by 10. Now what is 1 by 10? 1 by 10 is equal to 0.1 mm. Or if I want to convert it to centimeter, it will be 0.01 centimeter. So children, what is this? What is this value? This is the least count of a vernier calipers. Means with the help of a vernier calipers, we can find out the length which is as small as 0.01 centimeter, which you know very well that you cannot find out with the help of a normal scale. If you use a normal scale, you can only measure the minimum length to be 1 mm. Means the least count of a normal scale is only 1 millimeter. You cannot measure values below 1 millimeter. But vernier calipers can measure values up to 0.1 millimeter. Now you understood why are we using vernier calipers? It is more accurate and it can take very, very small measurements. Okay children? So, I hope you must have understood the utility of this particular instrument. Now, after I have explained this to you, I would like to go to show you how can I use it. Okay. So, before explaining that, I would like to write down how can you take what is the formula to calculate. Okay, that is observed length. Suppose if I want to take That is, I take this, see look here once again, I take this vernier calipers, I open this vernier calipers and I use this wooden block whose length I want to find out. I fix this wooden block between the outer or the lower jaws. Can you see children? I have fixed it like this, right? Now once I have fixed it, what is the method of taking a reading? Okay, what is the method of taking a reading? The method is, I use a formula for it, that is main scale reading plus vernier division coinciding. Okay, vernier division coinciding multiplied by the least count. This formula I am going to use to take the reading. Now, when I have fixed this, there is a reading on the main scale. Okay, I am reading that reading is equal to 3.4. I can see in this main scale the reading is 3.4 centimeters. Okay, when I fix this block, my reading on the main scale is 3.4, right? And what is the vernier division coinciding? What do you mean by that? Vernier division coinciding means out of the 10 divisions, which division is exactly coinciding with the main scale. I check it out, it's a very minute thing children, you won't be able to understand, but I have checked out the 6th division is coinciding. The 6th division. So 6th division multiplied by, what was the least count which I calculated children? 0.01 centimeters. I am going to take the centimeter part, not the millimeter. Why? Because my main scale reading is also in centimeters, right? So when I calculate this, it comes to 3.4 plus 0.06. That works out to 3.46 centimeters. So that's the observed length which I have calculated of this particular wooden block. The observed length of this wooden block with the help of vernier calipers has been calculated. Okay, this is how I use it. Now, there is something called a zero error. I would like to tell you about that also. Every instrument has a zero error. Now, what do you mean by the zero error? And what are the types of this? There are two types of the zero error children. Okay, so zero error, and when does it occur? I'll let you know. Zero error occurs when I close this jaws. See, I'll close the jaws. When I close the jaws and I see, I have to see whether the zero of my main scale, is it exactly coinciding with the zero of my vernier scale? When the zero of my main scale coincides exactly with the zero of my vernier scale, there is no zero error, right? Okay, you can see in this particular instrument, I'll try to show, the zero of the vernier is coinciding with the zero of the main. So it doesn't have a zero error. But sometimes it may be possible that, you know, the zero error may not coincide. So there are two types of errors, positive and negative. Now let's look at when is the zero error positive and when is the zero error negative, right? When the zero of, I'm writing it down, if the zero of your vernier scale lies to the right side, the zero of your vernier scale lies to the right side of the zero of the main scale. Okay, of the main scale. That is, say if this is the zero of your main scale and the zero of the vernier is lying towards the right of the zero of the zero of your vernier lies to the right side. It is not coinciding. This is your main scale zero and your vernier scale is lying towards the right side. So that error is said to be positive zero error, right? And how do you calculate that error? That is more important. You have to calculate. That error is calculated by vernier division coinciding multiplied by least count. This is how you calculate it. Vernier division coinciding multiplied by least count. Okay, and the other side is the negative zero error. Now, when is negative zero error? When the zero of your vernier scale lies to the left side. Okay, zero of your vernier scale lies to the left side of the zero of the main scale. Then it is said to be negative zero error, right? And how do you calculate it? It is calculated by the formula. It is calculated by the formula 10 minus Vernier division coinciding. 10 minus Vernier division coinciding multiplied by least count. Okay, so it means that your Vernier calipers could not have a zero error when both the zeros are coinciding, could have a positive zero error, or could have a negative zero error. When does it have a positive zero error? When the zero of your Vernier lies to the right side of the zero of your main. Okay, that is called as positive zero error. And when the zero of your Vernier lies to the left side of the zero of the main, that is called as negative zero error. And in order to calculate the positive zero error, you are using the formula Vernier, if Vernier division coinciding, you have to see which division coincides. Out of the 10 divisions, which division is coinciding with the main scale. Suppose the 6th division is coinciding or the 5th division is coinciding out of the 10. So you will, what will you do in the positive zero error? 1 minute, let me erase this and explain it to you. Okay, once again, what did I say about the positive zero error, children? I said positive zero error is division, Vernier division coinciding. Okay, this is what I said, Vernier division coinciding multiplied by the least count. Now, if the 6th division is coinciding, so it will be 6 into 0.01 and the error will be plus 0.06. This is how you calculate the positive zero error. Okay, that is the division coinciding and to the least count. But if the zero error is negative, then what do? You do 10 minus the Vernier division coinciding into the least count. So if I say that the 4th division is coinciding, so it will be 10 minus 4 into 0.01 and that will be 6 into 0.01 and the negative error, so it will be minus 0.606 centimeters. So this is how you calculate the negative zero error, right? And what is the use of calculating the zero error? That comes to your mind. Why are we calculating the zero error? We are calculating the zero error to find out the true length. And in order to find out the true length, that will be the observed length. The observed length minus zero error with sign. With sign, children. Okay, if you remember, I had already calculated the observed length and that was working out to it was equal to 6.32 or whatever the reading was. Okay, and if the zero error is say negative, so it will be minus 0.06. Okay, this was it. So if this is the observed length and this is the zero error, so what will be my final reading? 0.32 and this negative and negative plus 0.06 and that works out to 0.38. So this is how you use the zero error. Okay, so this has to be kept in mind, children, that Vernier calipers is a device which is used to measure, it's got a least count of 0.01 centimeters or 0.1 millimeters. It can take measure a length, breadth, height, depth, internal diameter, depth of an instrument up to a value as low as 0.01 centimeters, and it is effective to find out and it may or may not have a zero error. Thank you, children.